Ready to get started on a creative arts project but not quite sure how to present it? Well, you're in the right place. Here, we'll give you an overview of orations and how to perform them. As a general overview, there are three styles of orations: Asiatic, which is elaborate, artificial, and emotional; Attic, which is clear, forceful, and direct; and Rhodian, which is a combination of the two others. There are also, according to Cicero, three types of orations: the demonstrative, which praises or criticizes; the deliberative, which supports or attacks a measure or a proposal; and the judicial, which was used in the court system. You'll have to determine which type of oration you're aiming to give, and perform it according to that understanding. As for the oration itself, a typical oration has 6 main parts, which we can roughly split up into the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. The introduction contains the first 2 parts: the exordium, where the orator wins the attention of the audience, and the narratio, where they give a summary of the facts. The next 3 parts, considering the body, are the partitio, in which the orator provides an outline of the treatment of the point to be proved, the confirmatio, which is the affirmative argument, and refutatio, which is a rebuttal against the opposite side. The final part, which makes up the conclusion, is the peroratio, in which the orator briefly recapitulates, arouses emotion, and finally appeals to the sympathy of the audience. More than likely, you'll only get a part of the whole oration in your creative arts passage, so you'll need to determine which part of the oration it is and perform it accordingly. As you're performing, you should strive to embody the 5 qualities that the Romans considered essential to an oratory. The first was invention, which is the power to gather facts and line up arguments. The second is disposition, which is the ability to arrange content in the most effective order. The third, expression, is the choice of words most suitable for the thought and occasion. Luckily for you, the author of whatever passage you're performing has already mastered those first 3 qualities for you. The fourth, however, is not so easy: memory, which is the firm grasp of content, words, and arrangement. Similarly, you'll have to perfect the fifth on your own: delivery, which requires the perfect control of voice, features, gestures, and bodily movements to reinforce each part of the speech. When it comes to delivery, which is the primary thing for which you'll be judged, there are 2 very important components. The first is pronunciation. In Latin, there are 2 main styles of pronunciation: the classical and the ecclesiastical. While both are acceptable at VJCL convention, we will, for the sake of simplicity, explain pronunciation in the classical style. We'll also only explain the pronunciation of letters that differ from English, so if we don't mention them, it's safe to assume you can pronounce them like you normally do. The first thing to know about Latin pronunciation is that C's and G's are always hard, which means they're pronounced like the C in can and G in guy. V's are always pronounced like the English W, and X's are always as the X in 6, never like xylophone. S's are always pronounced like the S in song, never like the S in boys. I's that come at the beginning of words are pronounced like the Y in yes, and M's that come at the end of words are often nasalized, especially in poetry. Finally, R's in Latin are trilled, and pronouncing them that way goes a long way in impressing judges during your performance. Aside from letters, consonant groups are also important to know. BS combinations are pronounced more like the PS in apps. Similarly, BT combinations are pronounced like the PT in captain. Double C's and double G's remain hard, pronounced like the K's in bookkeeper and the G's in leg guard, respectively. CH's are also always hard, pronounced like the CH in chaotic. PH's are pronounced like the P and the H in top-heavy, not as the PH sound in philosophy. Similarly, TH's are pronounced like the T in take, so the Latin word for theater would be theatrum. Finally, GN's are pronounced like the NGN in hangnail, not just as a simple G and N. The last class of pronunciations you'll have to understand is diphthongs, which are combinations of 2 vowels. AE combos are pronounced as Y in by, AU as the ow in now, EI as the A in they, EU as the U in feud, OE as the oi in oil, and UI as the ooey in gluey. The second important component of delivery is body language and how you express yourself. Facial expressions are always important and help both you and the judges get into the content of your oration. In the classical style of oration, an orator's hands were not too expressive, with the right arm extended forward. The classical orator would also stomp his or her foot at the beginning or ending of an energetic passage. Now that we've gone over the basics of oratory, I hope you're considering trying it at the next convention. Keep an eye out for some videos of successful oratory pieces, and if you have any further questions, feel free to email one of the officers or co-chairs. Their email addresses can be found on the VJCL student site. See you in November!